This is an oral presentation as a requirement for the IDS capstone experience at Kaiser University. My topic is on the Patriot Act and my belief that it opens the door for potential violations of civil liberties. The USA Patriot Act became law on October 26, 2001. The acronym for the USA Patriot Act stands for Uniting and Strengthening American Act, and they provide appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorism act. After the attacks on 9/11, the nation was emotionally and psychologically scarred. The Bush administration took advantage of this, and it hurriedly pushed the bill into law with very little debate. The bill gave the government virtually unlimited powers in their fight against terrorism while expanding and enhancing previously existing laws. Many members of Congress who spoke out against certain provisions in the bill that came in conflict with the Constitution or appeared to violate civil liberties were castigated as being unpatriotic and against national security. This period that gave way to unlimited powers to the government is not the first time that this has happened in our nation's history. In 1798, the Alien and Sedition Act granted the government powers to arrest and detain indefinitely and deport individuals who they felt were against the nation. During the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln suspended habeas corpus. During World War II, again, President Franklin Roosevelt jailed and interred over 10,000 Japanese citizens purely because they had Japanese ancestry. He also, I think, jailed Germans and some Austrians. So this is not something new. This has happened in our history. The Patriot Act is a 352-page document comprised of 10 divisions called titles. Each title contains sections that specifically spell out the powers given to the government. The most contentious of which is Title II, that in numerous sections comes in conflict with the Constitution and opens the doors for abuse and violations of civil liberties. Though there are some set provisions within the legislation that calls for an end to certain items after a period of time, they are almost always reauthorized through a rubber stamp of approval without any discussion, without any debate. So nothing really changes. The USA Patriot Act is like the tree of good and evil. It aims to protect the nation, yet somehow chooses to do so through disavowing the Constitution and violating civil liberties. Measures granted in the Constitution, such as freedom of speech, freedom of reasonable searches, the right to freely assemble and associate, the right to counsel and face one's accusers, the right to a speedy trial, and more, are suspended when you are suspected of being involved in terrorist activities. The way to address this, I think, is for there to be some sort of committee where the Patriot Act is reassessed and reevaluated. It should be done so under the auspices or under the guise of legal scholars, politicians, and lawyers. It should not be done under a cloud of uncertainty, or at the expense of constitutional contention and civil liberties. As Ben Franklin stated, that anyone who would sacrifice liberty for the sake of security is not deserving of neither. I think it's important that we reevaluate the Patriot Act and we look to make it a better piece of legislation. I think if it continues the way it does, anytime a door is open for the government to intrude on our civil liberties, it will. Thank you very much. That is my oral presentation. Thank you.